DJ here with ACHV PEAK, and today we're going to do a review on the Mpow 12-piece resistance band set. So let's get right into it. First thing to note is I have everything laid out right here. It comes with 5 different resistance bands, starting with the yellow one at 10 pounds up to 50 pounds, which is the black colored one. It comes with a single set of handles, a band guard that I like a lot. These are ankle straps. It comes with 2 of those, a door anchor right here, pretty nice and solid it seems, as well as a carry case, and then I have the manual laid out. The manual is not considered part of the set. So the first thing I noticed when I pulled this out was the handles. The handles have a really nice stable grip. They're pretty big. It almost feels like a barbell if you've been to the gym and you've wrapped your hand around a barbell, maybe even a little bit bigger. Nice and sturdy. I really like that. Another thing I took note of was the length of the handle. This one is short. I really like the idea of short handles. We have another set back here, different brand, and the handle is probably this length of rope right here that comes out is probably 2 to 3 inches longer. And if you've seen any of our workouts, what we do a lot of times is, like, if we're going to do rows for your back, is we'll wrap the band around our foot to take up the length of the band so you have resistance the entire range of motion. What happens is when the handle is too long, it forces you to grab the bands or figure out a way to take up more band to have resistance that entire range of motion. So I really like the short handles or the short length of the rope on the handles. So that's one of the things I really like. I do wish that it came with a second set of handles, but you know, it's kind of the basic starter set. So potentially, you know, they might have another one that may have more bands as well as more handles. So that's kind of one drawback to only having one set of handles, is that you only get to use, you know, 1 or 2 bands at a time, connect them, and then you're gonna have to change out the handles if you use more weight. With our, like, if you look on our workout channel, you'll see that we do a lot in supersets, and you might do the same. And you know, you might have 2 bands together to do a row, and then immediately after that, you're going to go into a bicep or a shoulder exercise, and you're only going to need 1 band, which forces you to switch out. So the 2-handle thing kind of stinks, but most band sets, they only come with 1 anyways. Another thing I really like, I had never seen this before, was a band guard, and I really like this. So I've actually had a set of bands snap on me when I had it anchored to something, and I actually had 4 bands I was using, and it popped me and it put a knot in my back. And the cause was that the bands actually didn't fail because of a band issue. The bands failed because of being cut by something when I was using them previously. So this band guard is fantastic because these resistance bands, I've stretched the heck out of these things and they don't break. I mean, typically they're gonna have to be cut by something, and this band guard will prevent that, and I really like that. Even like, we have a bench right here, and I'll do bench press with bands, and even this plastic piece on the bottom of the bench, I've noticed will dig into the band and kind of cut them, and then I end up just having to cut the bands apart and toss them in the garbage. And potentially this band guard could prevent any of those issues and increase the longevity of your band. The next thing we have here is the two ankle bands. And I don't really use these much. They have a few useful applications if you're really wanting to activate your hips. Other than that, and some glue work if you're gonna have it anchored and you're gonna push back right there, that's gonna be good for you. Or if you're gonna go out to the side, really good for activating the hips. Great to help if you have tendonitis, to help with stability of the knee, because you're increasing the strength of your hips and glutes. These ones are a little small. They don't have any padding on the inside. I have used them before. It doesn't really bother me. When you're doing those motions, you're not really twisting your leg or your ankle in and out for the band to rub you, so it shouldn't cause any issue. If your feet are twisting there, you're probably doing something wrong. But it comes with them. They're great. Got a few useful applications. The door anchor right here seems pretty sturdy. I like that it has this big foam piece. I've used a door anchor before. It was small. It almost seemed like it had a marble inside of it, and I had it in a door, and it actually crushed the marble and it came out. This is not going anywhere. I like the length of it. It even has padding on the inside of it to help protect your bands again, so your bands aren't rubbing up against the material right here. So that's a really nice aspect right there. And then of course you have a carrying case. This is pretty much standard on just about every set of resistance bands. So it's a good little case, great to stack inside of your suitcase. We just did that on a trip. And now on to the band. So we'll take this 50-pound band right here. So the bands, it says right in the manual, stretching length. A lot of times when people complain about their bands breaking, it is not an issue with the band. It is a user malfunction. They have failed to use the band properly. So right here it says maximum stretching length is less than 5 meters. That's for the entire band. And single side stretching length is less than 2.5 meters. So we're gonna put this on here, and we'll go through a few movements real quick and see how they work. So right here you can see they have little carabiners. Those are always nice. Just take it, connect it on down, and then what you'll want to do is actually your handle goes on the small part and the large side of the carabiner goes to the band. Sometimes they have a tendency to want to do that. Just make sure to get them there. That's the proper way, right there, to hook your band up. So we'll just go right ahead and put this thing to the test. So let's see, do some curls. A lot of times what I'll do is I'll eat up some band to help increase the resistance. So it says it's 50 pounds. I'm not very sure on where the 50 pounds of resistance comes in, because surely from right here is not 50 pounds. I can do this all day long and I cannot lift 50 pounds if it was a dumbbell all day long. So a lot of times what I'll do is go take them like that, do them, there we go, that's 50 pounds. And I'm pretty sure I'm stretching that past the maximum limit. And as you can see, it's not damaging it. Another exercise that we do that probably stretches bands to the maximum limit is overhead tricep extension. And from here, you can see this 50-pound band has no issues. So I'm probably stretching it 7 feet and change. And so that's probably right around that max limit. It has no issue stretching that far. I'm sure it could be stretched even further, but I'm not going to take it past the limit. So I think the bands, they're pretty solid bands. I really like them. They seem to be well built. I like the fact that they have the weight on the outside. Sometimes when you're in a hurry, you go to feel a band. I have other bands, they don't have anything on them. You kind of feel them, grab them, say, oh, okay, this one feels heavier, whatever. I like the idea of just being able to take a quick glance, know that I'm grabbing the correct band or adding them up. It helps to have this when you want to put it in a workout log, because if you're using a workout log, it's much easier to go off of numbers than colors and attempt to have some weird, key that, legend or whatever to tell you what the heck, a Y or a G or whatever, if that's how you use your workout log to tell you the resistance. So I really like that. Compared to other bands that I have, this one fits right in line. It's a good solid set. Again, the handles, I love the handles. I like the larger handles. It stinks when you get those bands that don't have thicker handles and it feels like it's gonna snap on you when you're holding. I've been holding bands and literally feel the handle bending in my grip. These are not going anywhere at all. So I think all in all, the Mpow resistance bands, Good quality set, especially for the price point. If you're looking to get a starter set of resistance bands, this is a good option.